Hundreds protest in Homestead against Trump's zero-tolerance policy.
Miami Beach police incorporate new crime-fighting technology.
And students from Parkland inspire young people to vote.
This and more on Biscayne News. Good afternoon. Thank you for joining us at Biscayne News. I'm Isabel Vasquez.
And I'm Saja Smith. Here are some of the stories we are following right now. Since early April, citizens all over the country have been protesting the Trump administration's zero-tolerance policy, which requires U.S. border officials to separate migrant parents from their children. Maria Hinestrosa is covering protests in Homestead, where hundreds of those children are being housed.
Illegal immigration has been a problem in the United States for many years. Recently, the Trump administration's zero-tolerance policy, which separates children from their parents, has caused an outcry in the country. On June 23rd, hundreds of people walked about a mile to the Homestead temporary shelter to demand the reunification of families. Several members of Congress and local politicians visited the shelter to check the living conditions.
This horrendous, inhumane policy of zero tolerance in separating families. Babies and toddlers we're learning recently, although it's been going on for some time, being warehoused. And the entire reason for this is to build leverage to fight for a border.
Imagine the younger kids and what they're going through. I have a 12-year-old. I can't imagine her sleeping in a place without knowing where mom or dad are. It is inhumane, it is wrong, and that's what we need to concentrate on.
The absolutely critical thing that we have to have is making sure that the administration immediately adopts a policy that helps these children, the ones that particularly were involuntarily separated from their parents at the border, to be reunified with their parents.
Immigration lawyer Maria Trina Burgess says that many people risk their lives coming into the United States because they want to live the American dream.
It's not easy to immigrate to the United States legally because it takes, for employment base, for example, you need a sponsor. Or for investors, you need a lot of money. For students, international students, not everybody can afford a university with international tuition. So the problem is that people who are coming illegally to the United States in a desperate measure to leave their own countries because of the situation in their countries.
Currently, the government is under court order to reunify children under the age of 5 with their parents, but hundreds still remain separated from their families. For Biscayne News, this is Maria Hinestrosa.
What a horrible situation.
Yes, let's hope that these children are reunited with their families very soon.
Our next story takes us to Little Haiti, where aggressive development is affecting local businesses and changing the face of this vibrant community. Jamie Adelson is on the scene.
Miami's neighborhood of Little Haiti serves as a mecca for Haitians in South Florida. This community is currently undergoing a rapid gentrification. Developers are coming in with the mindset of modernizing and beautifying the area. Under normal circumstances, this is a good thing. But for business owners, this could be devastating news.
Little Haiti is a community rich with art, culture, and Haitian immigrants. After gaining its official title in 2016, Little Haiti fears losing its land.
I am for change, but the way they're doing it is not fair.
Mirlan Sanonjules, owner of the Little Haiti Thrift and Gift Store, has been a business owner for 5 years. She sells jewelry, clothing, and other gift items. After her lease was finished, her rent was raised by $1,800, forcing her to leave her space, which is now owned by the Villain Theater.
The reason they kick me out too, because they want my spot. They offer them more money and they give it to them.
This is happening to many businesses in Little Haiti. Developers are buying strip malls and shopping centers and raising rent, forcing business owners to move elsewhere to make way for new businesses. Wilkinson Sejou, owner of the Chef Creole restaurants, is a longtime business owner turned activist.
It's a catch-22. I see it as a positive thing because you're allowing the demographic to broaden itself. It's negative when in 5 to 10 years, now that culture that was here doesn't exist anymore.
Neighborhoods like Little Haiti are what make Miami great.
Attorney Alana Greer, co-founder of the Community Justice Project, is representing business owners in Little Haiti who have been evicted due to gentrification.
Florida law, whether you're a resident or a business, is very poor for tenants in evictions. We're working to help enforce the limited rights for folks to stay in their buildings, but we know that we need to have a much bigger conversation and a much bigger fight.
Gentrification displaces a community's original residents, who are usually members of minority groups and/or lower income. Marlene Bastien, Executive Director of Haitian Women of Miami, says that the community wants a more inclusive change.
We're not anti-development. We are for development. If you leave, there has to be development, there has to be progress. But we believe in common sense development, a development that is inclusive, that includes those who build these communities. The black and brown who build these communities, they deserve to live in it.
We, as well as other news outlets, have reached out to developers and they have declined to comment.
Even though leaders and residents are working hard to keep their neighborhood, they still have an unyielding fight ahead. For Biscayne Bay News in Little Haiti, I'm Jamie Adelson.
Another Miami neighborhood undergoing dramatic change is Lincoln Road, where the local culture is being replaced by corporate brands. Allison Cubillos takes us there.
Lincoln Road has been a popular street in Miami Beach throughout the years, where mom and pop shops were commonly visited by locals. But with its rapid expansion, some say it has become an outdoor mall for tourists, and small businesses are reconsidering whether they can afford to stay in the same place.
Lincoln Road is a pedestrian mall located in the heart of Miami Beach. Some would say Lincoln Road used to be a spot where residents would gather in their favorite local shop. One of the few local shops left, Books and Books, opened about 30 years ago as the only bookstore in the area. But now, owner Mitchell Kaplan is concerned for his store's future.
We're having to decide what to do, in terms of our own participation on Lincoln Road. Our sales are pretty good, but the rents are extremely high.
And Books and Books is not alone. According to Business Insider, Lincoln Road is the 5th most expensive shopping street in the U.S., leasing at current rate at $300 per square foot, pushing small businesses out of the street. Now, Lincoln Road describes itself as a premier outdoor shopping, dining, and entertainment mall with mostly mainstream brands.
Now, where Lincoln Road is primarily just like every other mall in Dade County. You have the Gap, and you have Apple, and you have Nike.
And although some tourists enjoy shopping big brand names, some prefer visiting local shops that define the true culture of Miami.
They came here, it's locally owned, not these big corporate brands. Because when I'm a tourist, I want to feel the culture. I want to feel I want to be influenced by Miami.
As Lincoln Road continues to expand, small businesses keep having the need to close. Reporting from Biscayne Bay News, I'm Allison Cubillos.
I haven't been shopping in Lincoln Road in ages, but I was just at Coral Gables last weekend. Have you seen it?
Oh yeah, all the construction is over, and I feel like they're more eco-friendly. And now they're even banning plastic bags. Daniela Santos tells us more.
The use of plastic bags is officially illegal in the city of Coral Gables. Commissioners approved the ordinance last year, giving businesses a 12-month period to change their practices, along with educational campaigns to show them the benefits behind the law. City Commissioner Vince Lago, who originally proposed the idea and wrote the legislation, explains the reason behind the city project.
The reason why I did it was because I'm always in the water. I'm a diehard environmentalist. I'm a spear fisherman. I'm a fisherman. And I want to make sure that I leave the state of Florida and my backyard in a better place for my children than when I touched it so many years ago.
The law applies to all retail establishments in Coral Gables, including supermarkets, boutiques, service stations, restaurants, and any other sales outlet where a customer can buy goods, materials, or products. This has had different effects on stores. Owner of Miami Photo, Carlos Osorio, explains that for his business, the transition has been smooth and has always supported eco-friendly products.
We did get notices by the city of Coral Gables that we needed to have this into effect up and coming. I don't remember the exact date, but it was by a certain day we had to change, but we didn't make any changes because we already had these in planned already.
To comply with this new law, the city has the option of using reusable bags or the most common one, recyclable brown paper bags. But for many businesses, like Chocolate Fashion Bakery, the transition hasn't been all positive.
Well, most of the customers, they don't care about the change of the bags, but they're more comfortable because of the handles. We have some bags that don't have any handles for to-go orders, and it's a little inconvenient for the customer. The increase in the cost has been pretty considerable, but we have to do it, so there's no choice there.
Coral Gables is the first city in Florida to ban the use of plastic bags, with the ultimate goal of reducing litter and pollutants in streets, waterways, and public spaces. Although the law has been effective for a short time, the City Council has high hopes and will continue to motivate other cities to join the cause. I am Daniela Santos reporting for Biscayne News.
It's nice to see a community taking action to protect the environment and future generations.
And for months, we've been watching the Parkland students taking a local tragedy to a national audience through their March for Our Lives campaign. Their most recent effort is to encourage young people to get out and vote. Fernanda Zarate takes us on the road to change.
We're here in the federal courthouse where students from March for Our Lives are making stops across America to motivate young people to vote, calling it Road to Change.
Demanding what we deserve, because we deserve better. We deserve to live. Is that too much to ask?
Student activists are pleading to the public and legislators to take action towards gun reform.
A lot of youth can relate to us as a movement because we do kind of preach the power of your voice. A lot of kids feel underrepresented in their society and in the system that they live in, and we're just trying to kind of push the fact that you, as a child of this country, you do have a voice. Just because you're young does not make you not a citizen, does not make you not a person, and you do have the ability to change your nation.
With the midterm elections approaching, March for Our Lives is reaching out to young voters.
It's a matter of letting the people in office know what you want. Our democracy was set up as that. It was set up so that our opinions affect our government. It's a human thing to want your voice to be heard, and in a little over 1,000 days I can register for that.
My friends don't feel safe. Students across the nation don't feel safe. Minorities in the LGBT community, none of us feel safe anymore.
Young people are motivated for change and realize that they have a lot more power than they might have thought otherwise, because power is in the voting.
The Road to Change is a nationwide movement making stops in 27 congressional districts. The next stops in Florida will focus on the central parts of the state. My name is Fernanda Zarate with Biscayne News.
The Parkland students are joined by many communities across the nation advocating for gun reform. I recently visited a local park that honors hundreds of children who have lost their lives to gun violence. In the middle of Liberty City stands a park with a touching past. Founded in 2010, the Shadavia Jenkins Peace Park started as a memorial to remember 9-year-old Shadavia Jenkins, who was struck and killed by a stray bullet in 2006. Today, it honors all children who have lost their life to gun violence. Instead of a place of mourning, the park has become a symbol of pride for the people of Liberty City.
It shows what Liberty City is going to become, but it takes us to make it happen.
The park is also home to a mural depicting the diversity of their community, as well as moments from Shadavia Jenkins' life. If you look closely, you can see the 108 stars, each signifying a child whose life was cut short by gun violence during Jenkins' short but beautiful lifetime. The Shadavia Jenkins Peace Park is one of many reminders that gun violence is still an issue that needs to be resolved.
The Miami Beach Police Department is now using new technology for crime prevention and surveillance. So if you find yourself looking up in the sky and think you're seeing a UFO, don't worry. It could just be a Miami Beach Police Department drone. Reporter Enrique Jimeno tells us the story.
Drones have now become our eye in the sky, and law enforcement agencies such as the Miami Beach Police Department are now utilizing them in order to prevent and detect imminent threats in our community.
The Miami Beach Police Department has been using drones for approximately 3 years now. We embarked on this journey about 5 years ago and began conversations with the FAA, the Federal Aviation Administration, on how we can qualify our personnel to fly legally within our airspace.
This piece of technology can play a vital role in situations such as active shooters, crime and traffic analysis, surveillance, crowd monitoring, and even bomb inspections.
I think it's awesome because you get more coverage. You can see things that you're not able to see on foot, whereas the drone usage, if it's over a certain area and a crime is committed, you can see it. You have visual evidence of that.
Drones are aircraft. They fly in our national airspace. Everything from the camera systems that are used to the way the materials are manufactured to make sure that aircraft provides the most optimum flight for the pilot. All these aircraft are controlled either via remote control or referred to as ground control stations. And again, like I said, these technologies are changing almost daily.
I feel like they can more just do their job without that, and it might be more of a public or privacy concern for some people.
We're not out flying drones, looking through people's windows. The technology is not even there to be able to do that. It's just the public perception is that the police are doing that, and that's not the case at all. In fact, we're using these drones and performing tasks with them in an effort to save lives. I think public perception is important, and I think that a better understanding of what our restrictions are and the limitations of the aircraft should be better explained to the public.
Make sure to keep a lookout for your eyes on the skies. Reporting for Biscayne Bay News, this is Enrique Jimeno.
Close to 70% of the population in South Florida is Hispanic. Our reporter, Marcela Rodriguez, visited a preschool in Coral Springs where bilingual education is preparing the younger generation for the future.
We are here at Echo Kids Bilingual Preschools, located in Coral Springs, Florida, where students from 10 months to 6 years old prepare through their first steps of formal education. Echo Kids specializes in neuroscience bilingual teachings to prepare the students for a brighter future.
My name is Sophia, and I'm 5 years old.
Echo Kids Bilingual Preschools was a project that started about 30 years ago. My mom opened her own school in Venezuela. When we moved here, we started the project about 5 years ago. We did 2 years of a construction. We built every single classroom. We designed everything so that every classroom could have a bathroom, sunlight, and make it, comfortable for the children. And we opened the school 3 years ago.
Echo Kids gives them the emotional support required for learning and the kind of stimulation needed for their brains to develop.
Lo más importante de nuestro currículum, el centro del currículum es el desarrollo socioemocional de los niños, que en los primeros 7 años lo más importante es el desarrollo de la autoestima y de la empatía.
We have developed a bilingual eclectic curriculum, which means that we take into consideration the newest findings in neuroscience and incorporate a little bit of Reggio Emilia, Montessori, Piaget, which are people that have aborted different theories to education. We live in a world where it's very important for children to learn more than one language. Not only because of the advantages that it has neurological-wise, but also because it gives you the opportunity to communicate with more people. And right now in the world that we are, I think that it gives you a plus.
Echo Kids Bilingual Preschools is leading the way with the use of their neuroscience teaching structure. This is Marcela Rodriguez with Biscayne Bay News.
Students are going back to school in a few weeks, and for many parents and educators, bullying is a concern. One mom in Broward County took it into her own hands to create a race that she hopes would bring awareness to this important issue. Alondra Bowden has more.
It seems like another beautiful Saturday morning in Pembroke Pines, but this one's different. We're here at the Stomp Out Bullying 5K at C.B. Smith Park in Pembroke Pines, an event dedicated to ending bullying and furthering the conversation here in South Florida.
The breakout Netflix original, 13 Reasons Why, has reignited the conversation on teen suicides and bullying in the digital age.
The show 13 Reasons Why are shows that are similar to that. It's helpful and hurtful. Helpful because it provides awareness to anyone, to all kids, teenagers who are going through the same issue. But at the same time, these shows, it can cause post-traumatic stress disorder, and it's an easy trigger to have them hurt someone, hurt themselves.
Bullying has been a societal problem since the beginning of time. Corita Johnson has turned the pain from her son's bullying experience into something positive.
So this particular race was actually started upon my son, and he's been getting bullied all year long. It progressed to physical, and then he got jumped several times by multiple people. We could never get a true fix to it, and ultimately what it wound up happening was we wind up having to have the young man prosecuted.
Well, I think bullying, there should be no bullying, because it's like mean and cruel to other people.
Reporting for Biscayne Bay News, I'm Alondra Bowden.
Speaking of 5Ks, the city of Weston sponsored a very patriotic race on the morning of July 4th.
3, 2, 1.
Over 1,000 runners participated at Weston's annual 4th of July 5K run. The City of Weston and YMCA partnered up for the first time to raise money for low-income families who can't afford a healthy lifestyle. Runners of all ages were there to celebrate the national holiday and enjoy a fun pastime with the community.
Well, I started running when I was in middle school, so it's like my passion. I like to run, and hopefully I'll get into a good college for running.
Finisher medals were given to every participant, and their running times were documented in return for their support.
We now want to show you an extraordinary athlete. Victoria Burgess went from Cuba to Key West, 120 miles, on a paddleboard. She called the journey the Chica Libre Crossing.
This whole story, I wanted to have a name for it, and I wanted to obviously represent what the whole meaning was, to inspire women and to motivate women to push for their dreams. And a lot of times I feel that we hold ourselves back from doing what we want for whatever reason. And if we just let go of that, then we can accomplish anything.
During the trip, Burgess faced obstacles like tackling harsh storms and extreme winds, setting a world record.
Florida has some of the most beautiful beaches in the world, drawing thousands to its shores. Our reporter Miroslava Espinosa shows us how to be safe in the sun.
You've probably heard this before, but this summer has been one of the hottest in history, sending tourists and residents out to our local beaches. We talked to experts to inform us on how to prepare while out in the sun.
It's always recommended that you swim or you near a lifeguard tower, first of all, and be sure that the lifeguard tower have lifeguards on, and then go to the lifeguard tower and ask where is the safer location for swim, and they will be able to inform.
The main premise of my job is prevention. It's prevention, surveying, got to keep my eyes open, got to make sure that I'm aware of all the people in my surroundings so that I don't have any of these risks to deal with.
One of the things most beachgoers don't know exists is the flag system that is out on the beach every day, warning people of hazardous circumstances they can encounter.
The purple flag is for marine life. We also have a lot of marine life here in this beach due to it being a very natural beach. We also have sea urchins, we have conch shells, we have stingrays, we have all different types of animals.
Crowd control can be easy to control on a family-friendly beach such as Crandall Park. However, when it comes to Miami Beach, it's a whole different story.
We have become pretty expert in figuring out when more people come to our city and what we have to do to make sure that our capacity doesn't challenge our ability to keep people safe.
Despite everyone's best effort, it can feel like a losing battle.
I'm not very aware of the flag information. I know red is probably not to go in the water, bad, and green is probably good. You can go in the water.
I just go where the people's at. And if there's no people, I don't go there because I'm worried about sharks.
Like some guy said he saw a shark out there earlier.
If you come to the beach, bring water, because you will get inside that water and come out so dehydrated, it's not even funny.
With 2 months of summer left, make sure to stay hydrated, apply sunblock, and pay attention to the lifeguard on duty.
Thanks, Mito. Those are great tips.
And that's all for today. For more information and to watch other local stories about living in South Florida, go to our website, BiscayneBayNews.com.
And from all of us here at Biscayne Bay News, we hope you enjoyed the rest of your summer. I'm Isabel Vasquez.
And I'm Saja Smith. Thank you for watching.